another long, busy day, but wanted to make yourself available to you all since the trade of last night. So go ahead. Any questions you might have?
Yeah, I want to get this out of the way. Can you talk about how this, I imagine you're very confident now, with this deal going through and positive pieces coming back, this team can get a new reason to the state. This goes a long way towards the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I think it does. I think, we're set up for the future. We're set up for a team here that the city and the state can be proud of. And, the fan support has been tremendous. And, we really want to be here for a long time.
How relieved are you about so much work? You said something a week ago that you were up all night and making calls and you kind of was a work mode or something like that.
Work sleep mode?
Yeah, work sleep mode.
Nah, now it's the next step. I don't know if it's relief. We're glad to get that process over, and we got some other things we can do to get our roster ready, compete in NBA games.
Do you foresee, I guess, any more moves? I know Carl, is that true?
Yeah,
Carl,
we just agreed today with
Carl Landry?
Yeah, so we'll get Carl signed hopefully today, and hopefully we'll have him here for the open practice on Saturday at the arena.
Have you talked about how the pieces may fit? I assume Jared now moves into the starting role. Have you talked with Monty at all about who fits where and who does what?
Yeah, we were arguing last night. I want to be a starting point guard. Just joking. It looks like Jared will be a starting point guard, and Monty takes care of all the coaching decisions. He's great. I don't try to mess with that. Monty, that's his decision. But it looks like Jared will be a starting point guard.
Can you talk about the importance of getting Landry signed since you all stayed in the West? Landry's a guy you understand, and what he brings to the table.
Yeah, he understands the system. He was here last year. He really thrived later in the season after the injury to David West, and he had some big time moments for us in the playoffs last year. We want to grow on that. We're happy to have Carl back. He's a culture guy. He fits our system, and we're excited about the agreement today.
Has there been any news on Jason Smith?
Still working on that one right now. We want to bring Jason back as well.
Do you have to maybe balance? I assume that Trevor will still be the starter, but with a guy like Aminu, do you feel pressure in any way to make a deal to maybe, push him to the forefront in any way, or to play some of the guys that you've, obtained, especially him?
That's a good question. We like Trevor. Trevor, he brings a lot. He anchors our defense. He and the Mac, Trevor on the perimeter and back in the paint. But we also want Aminu. We want to see what he can do. We're excited about a young guy like that. But we don't feel any pressure to move or anything like that.
About Amina, do you think that he's more a 3 or a 4 typically?
I think he's one of those hybrid guys. He's 6'9". He can really rebound. He's really good in college rebounding. 2 years ago, he's the youngest player in the draft, and so he's a guy that has a lot of potential. And we want to make sure that we get the most out of that potential and make it production.
Do you think this is a playoff caliber roster?
I think we got to do a few more things. The West is so strong. The West is strong. But I think we got some hard-playing guys, some vets mixed with some young guys. That's a good mix. And so I think we have a smart team. I think our basketball IQ is going to be really good, and I think we're going to share the ball. And we're going to, we're a defense-oriented team. That's what we said that since we walked in here, that we're going to lay our head on our defense.
A big piece that you guys got with this trade was this first round draft pick. Could you talk about how big a deal that really is, considering it's one of the deepest drafts we've had in the last decade?
Yeah, but that thing is, it's like the lottery, and what it actually is. If Minnesota does not make the playoffs, I think Minnesota's gonna be a good team this year. They got a lot of young pieces, and I think they're gonna be a good team. They just added some more pieces in the recent weeks, and we don't know what that pick is gonna be. We don't, and that was obviously a big part of the trade, but we don't want to fool ourselves and believe that that's going to be the saver. Because Minnesota, we think, will be a better team.
Bill, can you tell us a little bit about, or talk us through what you hope to accomplish the next few days? I mean, how to get stuff in, and I know that's my question as well.
I think one of the things is, we want to get the new guys here. Al Farouk, I think he's coming tonight, and we'll get Gordon that came in the next couple of days. And then we got to get them with the team. The team's going to Memphis today for a preseason game tomorrow night. Then everyone gets back late Friday night, and then we have the open practice on Saturday. So really Saturday, Sunday is going to be really the first time those guys can actually get on the court. you know, they gotta get the corporate knowledge and, you know, get up to date on our plays and our system. And that's, you know, in a normal season, you know, you have training camp for that, and, you know, that takes time. And sometimes it takes, you know, you can put it in, but until you actually learn it and master the system, sometimes it takes years and months. And so, but we're gonna do it on the fly. You know, we're gonna feel sorry for us. And, you know, these guys are pros, and they'll come in and they'll pick things up. And, you know, we're ready to compete on opening night.
Though you've got two centers who are making big money. Is there enough room for both of those guys long-term, or how do you look at that?
Well, you know, they complement each other. You know, Max like to, you know, go down low. He's really a good defender, finisher around the rim. And, you know, Kamen has he's a little more versatile offensively, where, you know, he can step out and make jump shots. He can also play with his back to the basket. And I think both guys are unselfish. I think they can play together. You know, I think that was your team problems. You have that length. And, you know, and Kamen also can block shots. And so, and then, you know, with Carl coming back, Carl can play with either one of those guys. And so I think our front court is a good front court. You know, Kamen was an all-star a couple years ago. You know, he's in the last year of his contract, and I'm sure he's out to prove that he can still play. I watched him this summer in the European Championships, and he was unbelievable. I mean, he was playing along Dirk, and many nights he was the go-to guy. So, you know, we're looking forward to getting him here, you know, with the team. You know, I talked to him last night. We talked, you know, out of all the guys, I talked to him the longest last night. He was really excited, asked him a lot of questions, you know, and wanted to know what his role would be, and, you know, he's really engaging. You know, I got off the phone, I was like, you know, I'm pretty excited.
Is there a concern with him and Gordon? Gordon has 2 years left on his deal. You have to go out and recruit those guys again, and are you
no,
concerned?
Gordon's actually in the last year of his deal, and he's eligible for a rookie extension.
Right.
And that's something that, you know, we gotta, you know, figure out what we're gonna do with that. And, you know, but I don't wanna, you know, all this just happened last night, and we haven't sat down with him and talked to Kamen and those guys yet about projecting out. You know, right now, we just took a breath back last night and breathe, and, you know, we'll get back to it. But, you know, the first thing is we wanna get those guys here to town, get them accommodated, get everything, you know, going, and then get them on the court.
For all, I guess, practical purposes, Gordon is now the face, I guess if you could say, of the franchise, for the most part. I mean, he was the headliner of the trade. Is he that kind of guy? I mean, for those people watching that don't really know him, that, you know, obviously Chris Paul is a superstar name. Eric Gordon is not a name that a lot of, you know, non-hardcore fans are going to know. Maybe you could just tell people about him and maybe the person that he is and just your understanding of him.
Yeah, last night was the first time I ever talked to him last night. And I watched him play for a long time. You know, I know he's from Indiana, went to the University of Indiana, played there for 1 year. And then when he was drafted by the Clippers, played very well. You know, he was a member of the national team, USA Basketball, which is an honor, you know, to be able to represent your country. And he played with a gold medal team that won the World Championships, not this summer, but last summer. So, I mean, he's an up-and-comer. You know, he's that next wave. He came in with a really good draft class, and, you know, he scores the basketball. That's what he does. And, you know, we want to utilize his talent. And to say he needs to face a franchise, I know that's kind of hard. You know, we want to you know, have the team situation here where, you know, we got a lot of guys contributing. We do anticipate he'll be our leading scorer, you know, because he's very good at scoring basketball. But, you know, we're excited to have him. That's the best way I can say it. We're excited to have him. We want to utilize all of his talents, and we also want to, you know,